What's up, guys? Coming to you today with a full Sunday of Week 8 NFL football action here on October 26th. I'm going to give out picks on every single game today. We're going to look at plays against the spread and a few over-under spots. I'll give you my favorite underdog and my massive lock of the day, so buckle up. We have a fantastic video for you today. Slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you don't miss out on our daily videos, and comment down below with anything you're looking at today across the sports world. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injuries and player availability being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, we had a very solid Saturday over there. It does look like potentially we could end the day on a loss, but we got off to a great start there. We had Pittsburgh minus 6.5 after a competitive first half. Pittsburgh came out and dominated both sides of the ball in the second half to win 53-34. An amazing game for overbetters, but just as good for us as we get the comfortable win and cover in the end. We had Washington State plus 1.5. The Cougars continue to be on quite the heater, getting the blowout 28-7 win at home over Toledo. The defense came up big in this game, and really after the second quarter, there was no doubt about which way this game was going to go. We also had Indiana minus 25.5, a pretty cool game to have in our thumbnail because the Hoosiers absolutely laid a smackdown on the UCLA Bruins, winning 56-6 and blowing out the spread for us in a game where basically everything went right for us on both sides of the ball. We still got Kentucky going here at plus 9, and they're looking like they might be in a little bit of rough shape against Tennessee, but it's only halftime. If they can have a good second half, maybe we can get a little backdoor cover going in that one. We did have Illinois at plus 4 as our dog of the day. The Illini have been very kind to us this season, but finally let us down. The first half, everything looked like it was going to be okay. They were tied with Washington 17-17, but the second half was a tough one with the Huskies outscoring Illinois 21-8 and making us lose our dog of the day. We did cash our lock of the day. So back on track with our massive lock of the day. We had Cincinnati minus 3.5. Definitely an easy one there. The Bearcats putting up a pretty easy win, protecting their home field and staying undefeated there in Big 12 play. Another excellent day out there for that Cincinnati Bearcats defense. So overall, a pretty solid day out there. Going to go at least 4-2, maybe 5-1 if we can get Kentucky to make a little bit of a comeback there for us. So not a bad day of college football. Let's dive in and see what we can make of this NFL slate. We've got some bye weeks going on right now, so maybe not the deepest of a Sunday slate, but it's a Sunday of NFL action. We got a bunch of games to look at. We're going to dive in. We'll also recap what went on the premium side here on Saturday. So lots of great information to look at here. Let's get started. First up, we're going to be looking at the Miami Dolphins as they go on the road here to take on the Atlanta Falcons. The Dolphins are pretty much a dumpster fire at this point. Things are getting pretty dark. They are 1-6 on the season. They've got their head coach making sarcastic snide comments about the quarterback, who was making just blatantly negative comments about the rest of his team a couple weeks ago, which is pretty laughable when you have been as bad this season as Tua has been. They're fresh off a 31-6 loss there at Cleveland last week, which we were on Cleveland. Cleveland's our lock of the day last week, and that was an easy cash there as they win that one 31-6. But yeah, Tua looked terrible. 3 interceptions, only 100 yards passing through the air. A nightmare. A-Chain actually had a great day on the ground, 13 carries for 82 yards there. Looks fantastic. Didn't hate what we saw from the wide receiver group, I guess, but what can they really do when you've got two of them primarily throwing the ball to the other team? That was not a great look. It also wasn't like the Dolphins' offensive line was great. They gave up 4 sacks in that game, so not amazing. Also has to feel pretty mediocre. I mean, they did fumble the ball away once also, so a total of 4 turnovers in the game. Has to feel pretty rough to lose to a Cleveland Browns team is putting Dylan Gabriel back there at center. He only passed for 116 yards, sacked twice, no touchdowns, no interceptions though. The running game was what really handled the bulk of the work there for the Cleveland offense. A total of 104 yards on the ground and 3 rushing touchdowns. A dominant day, 0 turnovers from them overall. So yeah, nothing really working very well for that Miami Dolphins defense. Even though they knew that Cleveland was going to have to run the ball here, they weren't going to be putting the ball in Dylan Gabriel's hands. Still, the Miami defense couldn't do anything to stop it. So a brutal day across the board for the Dolphins. They've had a lot of those this season, an awful lot. So we'll see what they can do in this one. Their injury report is looking okay, I guess. I mean, Julian Hill is going to be out there at tight end, so they'll be missing their starting tight end. The offensive line is a little bit banged up over the course of the season. They are technically healthy in terms of starters for right now, but this is definitely not a very good offensive line. On defense, they are fully healthy, and they've been pretty healthy this season in general on that side of the ball. They just haven't been very good, albeit they have been put in a lot of bad situations by the offense, but they are still 29th in the NFL, giving up 29.3 points per game. That's pretty brutal. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on these Atlanta Falcons, who are 3-3 on the season. The interesting thing about this week is it appears they're going to be starting Cousins. Kirk Cousins going to be getting the start, listed as highly likely to get the start in this one. So we'll see if that actually pans out. Last week, the Falcons did lose there at the 49ers, 20-10. A little bit of a tough day out there. Now, Penix wasn't terrible. 21 of 38, 241 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. sacked a couple times. Robinson, though, really couldn't get going. The running game in general did not look good out there. Only 62 yards on 20 carries. This is a team that's kind of built around the idea of being able to run the ball, and if they can't do that, that's going to be a problem. But they're going up against the Dolphins, a team that I think they will definitely be able to run the ball against. The wide receiver group looked fine. We did see one fumble there from Penix, so one turnover for the Falcons in that 20-10 loss. Obviously not the best look there, but, they didn't look like a complete dumpster fire offensively. The 49ers played really, really well defensively against them, only giving up those 10 points. And the Falcons' defense wasn't incredible. I mean, I guess they really did shut down Mac Jones in the passing game pretty aggressively, only giving up 152 passing yards and one interception caught there too, but they couldn't stop McCaffrey at all. He had over 200 yards of total offense and 2 touchdowns against them. That was really the difference maker in that game, and the 49ers only had that 1 turnover, so yeah, not a great day there for the Falcons in terms of their defense. Over the course of the season, the defense has been pretty good, 8th in the National Football League, giving up 20 points per game. The injury situation with the Falcons, though, is not great. Penix is still listed as questionable, but like I was just saying, it's highly likely that Cousins gets the start in this game. Drake London is questionable for this game as well, which is a problem if he's not out there. Sounds like that hip injury definitely has a chance of actually keeping him out of this game. It didn't get listed as a game time designation, so maybe that's a slight downgrade. Definitely keep an eye on that. There's a real chance he doesn't play in this game. Defensively, they are looking a little bit banged up too. Billy Bowman Jr. going to be out. That's for sure. And Zach Harrison questionable there on the defensive line. So not going to be at full strength in this one, but going up against the Dolphins, does that really matter? The Falcons are 7-point favorites. We've got a total of 44.5 in this game. The Dolphins 3-4 against the spread this season, 6-1 to the over. Atlanta 3-3 against the spread, 5-1 to the under. I will lean a bit towards under 44.5 in this game. I don't think we're going to see a crazy high scoring game in this one at all. I really don't see any way that happens. So definitely think there's some value here on the under. In terms of a side, I will take the Falcons at -7. It's not a play where I've got a ton of conviction. I mean, apparently with Cousins, getting the start, his career will be basically on the line here in this outing. Obviously, this is a guy that would love to be a starting level NFL quarterback again. Can he do that? We'll have to see. Tua, I guess he's going to start. Might be on a short leash here. It looks like him and his head coach are not getting along. Won't be backing the Dolphins on the road here under any circumstances, so give me the Falcons. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the New York Jets going on the road to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jets 0-7 on the season. They just lost 13-6 against the Panthers last week. It doesn't get a whole lot more embarrassing than what we've seen from them over the last couple of weeks, losing in a terrible, terrible game there overseas against Denver, and then last week, that 13-6 loss against the Panthers. It's been a brutal season. They have not looked good. They've got tons of injury concerns coming into this game as well. We saw Tyrod Taylor and Justin Fields both take snaps last week. Tyrod Taylor actually looked pretty decent, except for those 2 interceptions. So we didn't love what we saw from him. Justin Fields hasn't looked very good all season long. The offensive line doesn't look good. A total of 6 sacks in that game. Nobody's really doing all that much with their legs. Breece Hall is banged up coming into this one and didn't have a good week last week anyway. The wide receiver group is banged up. There just are no positives right now for the New York Jets, and they got to go on the road in this game. I guess defensively last week, only giving up 13 points is nice, but they didn't even have to go against a starting quarterback for a chunk of this game. They couldn't stop the run. That was a big problem, and they couldn't generate any turnovers. Only had 2 sacks, so this is not really an amazing level offense. I know it looks okay over the last couple weeks, but that really hasn't been too big of a deal. They're 26th in the National Football League, giving up 26.1 points per game. Their injury situation, like I was saying, is not great. Justin Fields going to be the starter for this game. I don't think that's what they wanted to do. I think they wanted to go to Tyrod Taylor. Breece Hall is questionable for this game, and I think there's a very, very good chance that he does not actually play in this game due to that knee injury, although he did actually end up practicing fully there on Friday, so maybe he will play, but how effective will he be? We'll have to wait and see. Garrett Wilson officially out for this one. Mason Taylor officially questionable there at tight end, dealing with that quad injury. I don't really think that's a big needle mover whether he comes back or not. Defensively, they're going to be missing Sauce Gardner for sure at cornerback, so that is definitely a problem in this matchup, a big problem, and they're going to be possibly missing Quincy Williams there at linebacker. Sounds like there's a potential chance that he could play. Dealing with that shoulder issue, he's still officially questionable. Now, the Bengals, they come into this game 3-4 on the season, currently in second place out there in the AFC North. They won last week over the Steelers 33-13 in a crazy game. Or no, yeah, that was last week. That was last week against Steelers. That was a nuts game. We were on the Bengals in that one, so that one felt pretty freaking good. Joe Flacco seems to have immediately come in and mastered the Bengals offense, which mostly consisted of throw the ball to Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and hand the ball to Chase Brown. And that worked great. And there's a great chance that could work great in this one as well. Flacco, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, 2 sacks, 342 yards last week. Chase Brown, 11 carries for 108 yards. Jamar Chase, 161 yards on 16 receptions. And T. Higgins caught 6 out of 10 for 96 yards. Each of them have a touchdown catch. Like, a great day out there for the Bengals offensively. Flacco's only sacked twice as well, so maybe that offensive line's getting a little bit better. Now, defensively, they did have a bit of a hard time against Rodgers. Did come up with those 2 interceptions. Not really like those were Rodgers' fault. They also couldn't stop Jalen Warren there in the running game. Didn't have a lot of great answers for the passing game either, if we're being completely honest. So maybe they benefited from some key mistakes there by the Steelers, but they do come away with the win. Over the course of the year, the Bengals defense has not been good, though. 31st in the NFL, giving up 30 points per game. But does that really matter when you're about to go up against the New York Jets? Now, the Bengals injury report is actually looking great. They're fully healthy there defensively. Obviously, Burrow out for who knows how long. But other than that, they're fully healthy offensively and on defense. There is a chance that it will be fully healthy. Trey Hendrickson, questionable for this game with that hip issue, but he is expected to play. So basically a fully healthy Bengals squad, and that's a big part of the reason they are 6-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 44.5 in this one. The Jets, 3-4 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. The Bengals, 3-4 against the spread, and 5-2 to the over. I actually think this is a pretty good spot to look at over 44.5. I think we're going to see plenty of offense in this game because both defenses suck. The Bengals are going to score. They're also going to get scored on. The Jets are so bad offensively, though, that does make me a little bit worried about this play. In terms of the side, I'll definitely take the Bengals here at -6. Flacco seems like I was saying that he has the offense figured out, and going against this terrible Jets defense should be in for a big day with a fully healthy offense that is ready to go and an offensive line that's looking better. The Jets will have Fields back under center and are super banged up with Garrett Wilson already listed as out. Breece Hall, apparently he is going to play, but is he really going to be at 100%? Seems unlikely. So I will definitely take the Bengals at home in this game. Hey guys, hopping here with a quick shout out to the sponsor today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, and college football picks. We had an extremely profitable weekend last week on the football side. NHL had a great week, has cooled off maybe just a hair the last couple days, but had a undefeated day there on Friday. Saturday looks like it's going to be a little bit closer to 50-50, but overall things are looking very, very good. At StumpTheSpread.com, you'll be able to see exclusive free picks that are only posted there, our free-to-use bet size calculator, and our premium top confidence picks, which might not and usually will not always match what you see here in the video, as I am not the premium MLB, NFL, NCAA football handicapper over there at Stump the Spread. We have a team of experts over there putting in a ton of work on these plays every single day. Each guy has more than a decade's worth of experience. They use some very sophisticated tools and algorithms to make all of those predictions. You also want to get over there to StumpTheSpread.com, not just to check out the free picks that are exclusively posted there, but you want to get on that free email list, guys. All you have to do is go to StumpTheSpread.com. You can click the link in the description, or you can just type it in somewhere. Click that little green login button, and that'll get you set up to put in your information for a free account. All they're going to ask you for is your name and your email address. That is it. You'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day. There will be at least one, oftentimes 2 or 3 free picks. There'll be parlays in those emails as well. Information on niche sports betting like golf, NASCAR, tennis, all kinds of crazy stuff like that you wouldn't even normally think of checking. And guys, there's tons of props in those emails. Also, tons of touchdown props for sure every single NFL Sunday. We cashed a plus 500 in the email last week on Sunday. Also hit some nice plays here on Saturday. So definitely, it's a free resource. You definitely got to get on that email list, guys. And also, you got to check out those premium picks too. Maybe the super crazy hot hockey run has cooled off, although we did have an undefeated day there on Friday. Saturday, some mixed results, some pretty bad luck. A push, for example, on that Mississippi State +7. That one was extremely unlucky there. That should have been a straight up win for them, honestly, and they give up a ton there in the fourth quarter to Texas. But over the course of the day, what we have finished so far, the Golden Knights did let us down, but the Bruins came away with the win. The Flyers came away with the win. The Wild weren't great. Looking like a potential undefeated day. Another perfect day on NFL player props, potentially. The Thunder coming through as an 8.5-point favorite. Dyson Daniels, under 5.5 made field goals. Shepard, over 2.5 assists. He had 2 assists the last time I checked, and it was only the third quarter, so looking very live there. On the college football side, Nebraska as a 7.5 unit play. That one didn't come through, but Vanderbilt cashed for us. SMU was a disappointment. That push there on Mississippi State was a huge disappointment. Oklahoma couldn't figure out how to get the job done, but LSU +3, they've been holding tough. Looks like they might be in for a a straight up win in that game. So we'll see if that one comes through. So a little bit of an up and down day. We've got a ton of premium picks in there for Sunday on NFL, and NBA will be coming up pretty soon. Those don't get posted until the day of, with all the injury stuff. But definitely want to get in on that if you're interested. And also, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name up on screen in every single video, but maybe more importantly, they get access to our members only giveaways. We do a hoodie giveaway here. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin that wheel every single week, and we give away one Stump the Spread hoodie to whoever wins that spin of the wheel. And we did a giveaway, on the 20th? So now our next one will be on the 27th, so that will be Monday. So definitely want to sign up for a channel membership if you want to be eligible for that giveaway on Monday. So get in on that if you're interested, guys, but we got to dive back in. A ton more games to cover out here on a very busy NFL Sunday. And next up, we're going to be looking at the Cleveland Browns as they go on the road here to take on the New England Patriots. The Browns come into this game 2-5 on the season. They are fresh off a 31-6 beatdown last week against the Dolphins, but now they got to go on the road to take on the Patriots. Should be a little bit tougher of a situation for Cleveland. In that win against the Dolphins, obviously they looked amazing, at least on the defensive side of the ball. Dylan Gabriel not really impressing me too much, getting sacked twice, only passing for 116 yards. Judikin's looking really good in the running game, though. 25 carries, 84 yards, 3 touchdowns. Dominant stuff. Obviously, no wide receivers having an amazing day, and with Dylan Gabriel under center, I'm afraid those amazing days could be a little bit few and far between there for the wide receiver group, but we'll see. Defensively looked amazing, dominating Tua and that Dolphins hapless offense right now. They did give up a lot to the run, which could be a little bit concerning in this game. We'll see, but it wasn't, definitely wasn't a terrible day. Obviously, they had 4 total turnovers, 4 total sacks, and only gave up 6 points. Now, the question mark for this Cleveland Browns defense is how good can they be on the road? They're usually a completely different unit playing at home versus playing on the road, so we'll see if that happens again in this one. Looking at the injury report here for the Browns, Dylan Gabriel still the starting quarterback. We'll see how that goes in this one. I'm not going to hold my breath for miracles. David Njoku, we'll see if he is able to come back for this game. Dealing with that knee issue, we'll just have to see. We'll have to see. Even if he does come back, will he be at 100%? I don't know. That one's a bit hard to judge. Other than that, they are healthy coming into this game on offense. And on defense, they are very healthy as well, which this has been a very good defense over the course of the season. There's no debating that. They've just been so much better at home than on the road. Like, they're giving up a total of 21.7 points per game, but when you look at their home games, like giving up 6, giving up 17, giving up 10, and giving up 16. So a much better team at home than on the road. Unfortunately for them and their fans, they are on the road for this game as they head to New England to take on the Patriots, who've now won 4 straight games. They're 5-2 on the season. They're currently on top out there in the AFC East. We'll see if they can keep things rolling here. In their win last week, well, it was over the Titans, so we can't take too much away from these stats, but Drake May had a good day, 222 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. Ramondre Stevenson, 18 carries for 88 yards. They will be hoping to run the ball successfully here against the Browns. I would say that's maybe the only weakness that this defense has, except for, playing away from home. Stephon Diggs, another very good day. Like, really nothing negative to say here about this New England Patriots offense. They looked really good, didn't turn the ball over in the whole game. Drake May was sacked 4 times, which could be a little bit scary here going up against that defensive line of the Cleveland Browns. But overall, a very good day for the Patriots. They come into this game very healthy as well. Offensively, really no significant injury concerns whatsoever. So they're healthy and ready to go on offense and on defense. Really nobody missing. It sounds like Kyle Duggar will probably be out there, so they'll be missing some, like second string help there in the secondary. But other than that, the Patriots are fully healthy for this game. And that's part of the reason they are 7-point favorites. We've got a total of 40.5 in this one, so the odds makers expected to be very low scoring. Cleveland 3-4 against the spread, 4-3 to the under. New England 5-2 against the spread, 4-3 to the under themselves. I will take the Patriots here at -7. This is not necessarily a game that I'm in love with, though. Teams on a 4-game against the spread winning streak that didn't make the playoffs the year before, like the Patriots in this game, are 14, 26, and 1 against the spread. And since 2022, they are 1-14 against the spread in this spot. That being said, the Browns are terrible on the road. That defense doesn't look nearly as good away from home. And Dylan Gabriel is probably not really an NFL level quarterback, if you ask me. So I definitely think we're going to go with the Patriots here at -7. That being said, if this does dip below 7, I do think there's some significant value to be found there on New England. Rolling right along here, guys, we're looking at the New York Giants going on the road to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Giants are 2-5 5 on the season. Really should have won that game last week at Denver, but let it slip away, eventually losing that one by 1 point. So we'll see. We'll see if they've got a little bit of a bounce back in them here. They did activate Gano there off the IR, so they will have at least a theoretically better kicking option in this game, so that should help. Hopefully they at least have someone now who can make extra points. Last week we loved what we saw from Jackson Dart there against a very good defense and playing on the road. 3 touchdown passes, 1 interception, sacked 4 times, but also passed for 283 yards. That being said, he only completed 15 out of 33 passes. That is not great. We liked what we saw from Scadaboo. As always, 16 carries, 60 yards. Some tough running there, but that's kind of what he does. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 9 carries for 46 yards. Maybe he should be getting a few more touches. He also had a running touchdown. So did Jackson Dart. Wardell Robinson had a good day catching the ball. Daniel Bellinger also. Obviously, they do miss Neighbors, but they're making do with what they've got. And they just put up a 32-point game. Should have been in what should have been a win at Denver. So a very good day there. The defense was not great, especially in the fourth quarter. Bo Nix passed for 2 touchdowns, 279 yards. They also couldn't stop the run there, giving up 142 rushing yards in the game, and couldn't stop Bo Nix from running himself, which is a concern when you're about to go up against Jalen Hurts. So we'll see how that goes. They didn't force any turnovers either, only had 2 sacks. So not an amazing day there by the Giants defense. And over the course of the season, the defense has not been insane. 23rd in the NFL, giving up 25.3 points per game. So definitely room for improvement here as they head to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Philadelphia, guys, they've had a lot going on. They're fresh off of a win, so that has to feel good. We'll see if they can make it 2 wins in a row here. Obviously, that's what they would dream of. They won 28-22 at the Vikings last week, so well played. We were on the Eagles in that game, so we take the win there. Not going to be too upset about that. Jalen Hurts had a monster day, 3 touchdowns, 326 yards through the air, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times. Another mediocre day there from Saquon. Saquon fantasy owners have to be extremely depressed at this point. 18 carries, 44 yards, no touchdowns. Devontae Smith caught 9 out of 11 targets for 183 yards and a touchdown. A.J. Brown caught 4 out of 6 targets for 121 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, yeah, the passing game was just fully online. Looked really, really good there. They didn't struggle too much against anything bad there. It was a pretty good day, honestly. Didn't struggle too much at all. Picked off Carson Wentz twice. Had the dude out there with his arm basically hanging off. I don't know why the Vikings left him out there. That was pretty egregious. The Eagles had 2 sacks in that game. Gave up 22 points, which isn't amazing, but slowed down. Didn't quite completely stop, but definitely slowed down the run. Did not hold Jordan Addison or Justin Jefferson in check necessarily, but other than that, a very, very good day for the Eagles defense, which has had its injury problems so far this season. They're currently 20th in the NFL, giving it 23.6 per game. A.J. Brown going to be out for this game is the big news for this one, and it's definitely a weird situation. Dealing with a hamstring issue, reportedly. Apparently, maybe not a serious injury. Didn't practice. There's just been constant drama with this guy here. So we'll see what goes on with that down the stretch. Reportedly, they are not even considering trading him, so that's probably a decent sign, I guess. A big problem here for the Eagles in this game is Cam Jurgens is going to be out. They'll be missing their starting center. That is not ideal. They're also going to be missing 2 starters there on offense, on defense, missing 1 member of the secondary and 1 linebacker. So some injury concerns for the Eagles as they come into this game. They are 7.5-point favorites still, though. We've got a total of 44. The Giants 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 to the under. The Eagles 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. Guys, we will definitely be taking the Giants here at plus 7.5. A.J. Brown being out is pretty bad here for the Eagles. The Giants being banged up defensively is not great, but the Eagles defense will be missing at least 2 starters, like I was saying, and they're missing starters on the offensive line, including, most importantly, their center. That could be a little bit of a rough situation here, even going up against the Giants defense, which isn't amazing. So definitely give me the Giants here to keep this thing within a touchdown. Next up, we're looking at the Buffalo Bills going on the road here to take on the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Bills coming off their bye week after losing 2 in a row. Pretty brutal stuff to lose by 3 against the Patriots and then to lose by 10 at the Falcons. Definitely not the level that we expected the Bills to be at in general this season. We'll see if they can, kind of pull themselves together here coming off of a bye week. Their last time out there against the Falcons did not recognize what we saw from Josh Allen. 15 of 26, 180 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and sacked 4 times. That is not what we're used to seeing from him. He did run the ball 6 times for 42 yards, so that was good. James Cook ran the ball 17 times for 87 yards. Nobody really distinguishing themselves there in the passing game. Feels like they need to find some sort of real weapon here for Josh Allen. We'll see if that ever happens. They didn't turn the ball over via the fumble at all, so that's good, but definitely problems to be solved there. They gave up 24 points to the Falcons. Absolutely could not stop the run there. They've definitely been missing some guys, and they have to be worried about that. They are vulnerable to the Panthers running game here, but they should kind of be able to stack the box. We'll talk about that here in a second. But they did a decent job, but not a great job against Penix. They forced 0 turnovers. Really what's holding the Bills back this year is their defense that's 17th in the NFL, giving up 22.8 points per game, but they've honestly looked much worse than that. Their injury report is looking much better. We do see Joshua Palmer probably out. Dalton Kincaid is questionable there at tight end, so hopefully he'll be back. It sounds like he was limited there in practice on Friday, so maybe he won't be back. Defensively, Daquan Jones is going to be out there at defensive tackle, but they are getting healthier. Matt Milano, questionable. Bernard, also questionable, but it sounds like both those guys have good chances to play. That pectoral issue there from Milano, he is officially questionable, but I think there's a chance he comes back here, and Bernard with that ankle issue is listed as questionable, but I once again think there's a good chance he is able to take the field in this game. So that would be great news for Bills fans as they head to Carolina to take on the Panthers, who have won 3 straight games. They're 4-3 on the season. Their wins, though, are over the Falcons in that crazy game, then a 3-point win against the Dolphins, a 3-point win against the Cowboys, and last week a 13-6 win at the Jets. In that game, Bryce Young got injured, did pass for 1 touchdown and 138 yards. Andy Dalton came in and looked pedestrian at best, and he is the one who will be making the start for this game. Rico Dowdle finally had a bit of a down performance, 17 carries for 79 yards, not the normal transcendent numbers we're used to seeing from him. Chuba Hubbard maybe taking a bit of a backseat. Andy was terrible last week, so maybe he rushed back from injury being worried about his job. Defensively, they looked great, but that was against the Jets, so let's not freak out too much. Cool, you generated 2 turnovers, 6 sacks, only gave up 6 points. But that was all against the Jets. This is going to be a much different situation. You're trying to stop the reigning MVP and a real Buffalo Bills offense. Look at the injury report here for the Panthers. Bryce Young, really the only injury concern, and he's very unlikely to play in this game. And defensively, they are fully healthy. What will that matter here going up against the Bills, though? We'll have to wait and see. The Panthers are getting 7 points in this game. We've got a total of 46.5. Buffalo's 2-4 against the spread, a 500 over-under team. Carolina's 5-2 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. I don't care about that, guys. This is the Bills coming off a bye week. We will definitely be taking the Bills here at -7. It's a potential lock of the day. This is an Andy Dalton start. Home teams are usually undervalued, but the Bills are getting healthy and are very much due for a bounce-back performance after looking bad the last 2 weeks in a row. The Bills are well-rested coming off their bye week and are getting healthy. Josh Allen is 8-0 straight up coming off a bye week. The Bills' defense isn't good, but is generally getting healthy, so that helps. Teams that have won 3 straight games by 7 points or less over the last 10 years are 30-46 against the spread, and when they are underdogs in that next game, they are 10-26 straight up, 12-23-1 against the spread. We are slamming it here on the Buffalo Bills. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at one of the weirder games of the week. We've got the Chicago Bears going on the road here to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Bears are 4-2 on the season. They've won their last 4 games in a row, beating the Cowboys, Raiders, Commanders, and Saints. So hopes are all of a sudden sky high there for the Chicago Bears. They're a 4-2, and the leading team in the NFC North is the Packers, who are 4-1-1. So yeah, the Bears have hope, which is not something they've had very often recently. Caleb Williams was not great last week, though. All this about him being the savior of this franchise seems a bit of a big ask. He had 1 interception, no touchdowns, 172 yards last week, sacked once, didn't do anything with his legs. The real reason they won that game against the Saints was Swift, 124 yards on 19 carries and a touchdown, and Morgani, 13 carries, 81 yards, and a touchdown there as well. Mangani. Sorry, I said that wrong. Going blind here at some point, guys. But yeah, the passing game just did not look great. DJ Moore fantasy owners are in shambles, but DeAndre Swift looking really good. They only turned the ball over that one time, which was excellent, and the defense was really good, albeit against the Saints. We saw Spencer Rattler get picked off 3 times in that game. He was also sacked 4 times. The Saints' running game couldn't get going at all, and they fumbled it away once. So 4 total turnovers and 4 total sacks there on Rattler, and the Bears gave up only 14 points. A great performance from a defense that is 25th in the NFL, giving up 25.8 points per game. So we'll see if they can do anything like that here against the Ravens. Although they may have a real chance here, guys, because Baltimore comes in this game 1-5 on the season. Sounds like Lamar Jackson is not going to be playing in this game, so they've got a chance to take advantage of another bad team. Unfortunately for Baltimore here, coming off their bye week, to not have him back for this one. But got to do what you got to do. Got to get him healthy. The last game we saw the Ravens play was against the Rams, and it was a combination of Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley out there, and neither one of them looked great. Huntley maybe looked a little bit better and was able to do some work with his legs. Derrick Henry had a big day against the Rams, but all that culminated in Baltimore scoring 3 total points, only giving up 17. So actually a great day for a defense that's been absolutely horrible this season, but they didn't have any. They only had one turnover in that game, gave up 17 points, gave a little bit to the run, a little bit to the pass, but really weren't put in a position to really compete. So apparently we will have Tyler Huntley under center, no Lamar Jackson, no other meaningful injuries there for the offense. So I guess that's at least a good sign, but not a quarterback situation they were hoping to be in. Defensively, they are fully healthy coming into this game. Obviously, they lost a few guys for the season, but this has not been a great defense this year. Obviously, currently ranked 32nd, dead last in the NFL, giving up 32.3 points per game. So I do expect them to be better than that here against the Bears. They are still 2-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 44.5. The Bears are 4-2 against the spread, 3-2-1 to the over. Baltimore 1-5 against the spread, 5-1 to the over. I think this is actually an excellent spot to take the over. I think we'll see plenty of points in this game. Obviously, neither team is super competent, but neither is the defenses here. So I'll lean a little bit towards the over. In terms of a side, this is a massive, massive desperation spot for the Ravens and a big letdown spot for the Bears. So I guess give me Baltimore at home in this one, but overall, guys, I'm going to be staying away from this one completely. Next up, guys, we're going to be looking at the San Francisco 49ers going on the road to take on the Houston Texans. The 49ers are 5-2 on the season, coming off a 20-10 win against the Falcons. They've had a pretty good year so far, despite just having to fight through a mountain of injuries. Last week against the Falcons, we didn't like what we saw from Mac Jones. I will say that. Coming back to earth here, turns out Mac Jones not really the second coming of Tom Brady. 152 passing yards and 1 interception. Also sacked once and didn't do anything meaningful in the ground game, but Christian McCaffrey carried this team to a win. Over 200 total yards of offense, 2 touchdowns, just a monster performance from McCaffrey, who looks like by far the best offensive player on this team. And he stayed healthy so far this season, something he has struggled with historically. So those are the positives for the 49ers right now offensively. Defensively, they're only giving up 10 points. Very good. Held Penix in check. Shut down the Atlanta running game. A dominant day out there for the 49ers on defense. And over the course of the season, this defense has been excellent. 7th in the NFL, giving up 19.7 points per game. We'll see if they can keep that rolling. They are very banged up still. Ricky Pershaw confirmed out. Brock Purdy confirmed out. So another Mac Jones game. We also see their starting center is confirmed out for this game as well. That is not a great sign. You're on your backup quarterback and your backup center. That's concerning. Bryce Huff still out for this game on defense. That is also not great. Luke Gilford, questionable. We'll see if he can come back, and we'll see. They could be missing one linebacker, one member of the secondary, and they will definitely be missing their defensive end. So banged up 49ers team for sure. Definitely a lot of injuries as they go on the road here to take on the Houston Texans, who are 2-4 on the season. Not exactly killing it. Their wins were against the messed up Ravens and against the Titans. So they've definitely got a lot to prove coming off that 27-19 loss there on Thursday Night Football against the Seahawks. CJ Stroud was pretty pedestrian in that game and has been pretty bad all year long. 23 of 49 last week, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, sacked 3 times. He ran the ball twice for 25 yards, not something you always see from him, but yeah, not a great day just across the board for Houston. Dalton Schultz was the leading wide receiver. That's not what they want, although he was great, caught 9 out of 10 targets for 198 yards. Nico Collins will be out for this game, still in the concussion protocol, so that is a big problem. Defensively, they did pick off Cooper Kupp once and picked off Sam Darnold once. They couldn't stop the running game, though, and couldn't stop the pass. Had no answers there for Jackson Smith and Jigba. They did generate a total of 4 turnovers, though, and still lost by 8. That has to feel pretty brutal if you're the Texans defense, which has been amazing this year, especially playing at home where they've given up 0 and 19 points. These are the only 2 home games they've played. Over the course of the year, they're first in points against this season, giving up 14.7 per game. So the defense is looking great. And looking at the numbers here, guys, the offense is going to need the defense to play great because Nico Collins and Christian Kirk both out for this game. Dalton Schultz looking like going to get a large percentage of the target share. So if you're looking to bet some props here on the Texans, maybe take his over on yards, maybe to catch a touchdown, maybe on receptions as well. Defensively, they're looking healthy and ready to go, and this defense has been amazing. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Texans are -2.5, a total of 42 in this game. San Francisco 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. Houston 2-4 against the spread, 4-2 to the under. Guys, we will definitely be taking the Houston Texans here at -2.5. Brock Purdy's out. Mac Jones is not fully healthy. Pershaw out for this game, like we were saying. Lots of injuries there for the 49ers on defense. Yeah, this is rough, guys. The 49ers, they're 1-13 against the spread after a straight-up win since December 2023. That is a trend big time in our favor. I think we'll see the Texans defense dominate this game and make life really tough for Mac Jones. definitely give me the Houston Texans here at home. Rolling along here, guys, we've got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Buccaneers 5-2 on the season. They did lose their last time out, a 24-9 loss there at the Lions in a big primetime game, so I'm sure that one stung a little bit. Baker tried to do what he could, got a little banged up, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 4 sacks. The running game didn't get going. Nobody had a particularly great day catching the ball except for Kate Otten, who cashed a player prop for us. That was nice. The defense actually didn't do that terrible if you take out a couple big mistakes there in the run defense. But yeah, picked off Jared Goff once, sacked him 4 times. Not a terrible day there. Did get a little bit burnt by Amon-Ra St. Brown, but not the worst day out there for a Buccaneers defense that hasn't been great this season, giving up 25 points per game. That's 22nd in the NFL. Now, the injuries continue to be a big problem. Bucky Irving, Chris Godwin Jr. both officially out for this game. Luke Haggard also out there on the offensive line, so that's not great. Vita Vea, that is a big problem if he misses this game for them on defense. Got a foot issue. Sounds like there is a chance that he plays in this game, but it's by no means a lock. Also, Hassan Reddick is listed as out. So the defense for the Buccaneers is a little bit banged up. They're going to be going on the road here to take on the Saints, though, who come into this one looking pretty terrible. 1-6 on the season. Just got kind of beat down there at the Bears, 26-14 their last time out. Rattler finally starting to look as bad as I expected him to look all year, getting picked off 3 times, fumbling the ball away once, and being sacked 4 times. They only scored 14 points in the game. The running game looks terrible. I can't believe Alvin Kamara really wants to stay in New Orleans like he's saying. I would be begging for a trade out of there, but we'll see what happens. The defense also didn't look great. Couldn't stop the run, which is a concern against a Buccaneers team that will run the ball if that option is available to them. Yeah, just not a lot of good things to say about the Saints in general this week. Over the course of the season, their defense is 27th in the NFL, giving up 26.6 points per game. Their injury report, I mean, I guess they are technically fully healthy there offensively, but I mean, it's not great. And defensively, they are healthy, but they've been really bad. They've been really bad. So we'll see what they can do here. They're getting 3.5 points at home. We got a total of 46.5 in this one. Tampa Bay's 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. New Orleans 2-5 against the spread, 4-3 to the under. The Saints don't really seem to have the home field advantage they used to. They are getting all the money, and the bets are on Tampa Bay, so this is a pros versus Joe spot, but I just can't back Spencer Rattler here over Baker Mayfield. You could take the money line here and play it safe on the Buccaneers at -210. I've got no problem with that, but my main lean on this one will be the Buccaneers at -3.5. I think they find a way to get the job done for us, and I don't mind being with the public here in a few spots. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Dallas Cowboys as they go on the road here to take on the Denver Broncos. Now, the Cowboys, they're 3-1 on the season. They're falling behind the Eagles there in the NFC East. They did beat the Commanders, though, in a blowout last week, 44-22. That was a play that we loved last week, and Dak Prescott and company came through for us. 3 passing touchdowns from Dak. He looked great out there. Only sacked 1 time, 0 interceptions. Javonte Williams ran for 116 yards and a touchdown on 19 carries. CeeDee Lamb came back, had a big day. George Pickens continues to kill out there. Like, just a great day across the board for that Dallas Cowboys offense. They continue to cook. Defensively, they looked really good against both Jaden Daniels and, well, mostly good against Mario. They looked okay against Jaden Daniels. I mean, felt like it was a matter of time before the injuries would start to catch up on somebody who plays the way that he does. But yeah, a rough day out there for the Commanders there offensively, and some credit has to go to the Dallas Cowboys defense. Although, how good are they really? They've been basically the worst defense in the NFL this season, generally speaking. Also, Diggs on the IR out at least the next 4 games, which leads us into the injury report. Tyler Guyton possibly going to be out there, so Dak missing one of his offensive linemen isn't great. Defensively, they're missing 2 starters there. Wilson and Thomas both going to be sidelined, missing 2 big members of the secondary, which could be a big problem here as they take on the Denver Broncos. They're 5-2 on the season. Just got a miracle win there against the Giants last week, coming back to win by 1. Again, they definitely should have lost. They're 5-2 on the season. They're tied in the win column with the Chargers there atop the AFC West. In that win against the Giants, I mean, Bo Nix looked terrible until he didn't. Passed the ball 50 times, only completed 27 of those passes for 279 yards, 2 touchdowns. Sacked a couple times, but no interceptions, so well played there. Denver did not turn the ball over. J.K. Dobbins looked really good running the ball. Bo Nix ran for 2 touchdowns as well as 48 yards, so maybe he's fine. I don't know. Cortland Sutton, a big day. Marvin Mims Jr., a big day. Nice little breakout game from him. Overall, the Denver offense looked really, really good. The problem is they scored 0 points through the first 3 quarters and needed a lot of help there from the Giants to eventually win this game 33-32. So we'll see if they can be a little bit more consistent in this one. Defensively last week, they got shredded by Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterbo, Wan'Dale Robinson. Not a great look for a team that's supposed to be one of the best best defenses in the NFL. They're still only giving up 18.1 points per game, but when you look at where they put up their best numbers, it's against terrible teams like the Titans, the Bengals, and the Jets. So we'll see what they look like this week. Their injury report is looking pretty clean. They're fully healthy offensively and basically fully healthy defensively. Greenlaw there is suspended, but yeah, looking like they're in pretty good shape for this game. They're 3.5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 51. Dallas 4-3 against the spread, 5-2 to the over. Denver 2-4-1 against the spread, and 5-2 to the under. I'm going to be taking Denver here at -3.5, and it's got a great chance to make the pinned comment. This is a big sell high spot on Dallas. Feels like a rough spot for them going on the road to play in a rough environment against one of the best defenses in the NFL. We think at 3, I like Denver a lot more than 3.5, but the Dallas defense is terrible. They are banged up, missing 2 members of their secondary. The last time Dallas beat Denver was with Troy Aikman under center. The last time Dallas beat Denver in Denver was with Troy Aikman under center. So I will certainly be on the Denver Broncos in this game. Rounding into the home stretch here, guys, we're looking at the Tennessee Titans going on the road to take on the Indianapolis Colts. The Titans have been pretty convincingly one of the worst 2 teams in the NFL this season. They're coming off a 31-13 loss against the Patriots, and it's just been a bleak season there in Tennessee. Cam Ward is actually looking better than it seems. He had 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 255 passing yards last week, but he was sacked 5 times, and the running game couldn't get going at all there for Tennessee, so pretty brutal stuff to just hang this rookie out to dry. He did fumble the ball away once as well. If you're going to get sacked 5 times, you're going to put it on the turf once or twice. Just a brutal situation for that young man. We'll see if he can make something out of his career, but will it happen in Tennessee? We'll have to wait and see. That defense is terrible. They couldn't stop Drake May, couldn't stop Ramondre Stevenson, couldn't stop the Patriots at all, giving up 31 points. And they look like one of the worst defenses in the NFL, giving up 27.2 points per game. That's 0.4 points per game. That is 28th in the NFL. The injury report is also not looking good. Calvin Ridley confirmed out for this game. They're also going to be confirmed without Jeffrey Simmons. They could be without Xavier Woods, and Key could also be out there at linebacker. So missing up to 3 starters on defense, at least 1 starter there on offense. This is just a bleak time to be a Tennessee Titans fan. Now, they're headed to Indianapolis to take on the Colts, who are 6-1 on the season. They're having a great year, easily atop the AFC South there, coming off a 38-24 win there at the Chargers. Thank you, Colts, for cashing that one for us. Daniel Jones looked excellent. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 1 sack. Jonathan Taylor, 16 carries for 94 yards and 3 touchdowns, looking like one of the best backs in the NFL. They just killed out there against what's supposed to be a great Chargers defense. It was an amazing day for the Colts as they continue to look very good. They picked Herbert off twice in that game, so the defense looked okay. Stopped the running attack, made that basically undoable. Did give up a lot to the pass, so that secondary could be a little bit vulnerable, but are the Titans the team to take advantage of that? I would doubt it. Now, the Colts, they come into this game fully healthy on offense and fully healthy on defense, which is basically a cheat code at this point in the season. Like, you just do not see everybody be healthy like this at this point in the year, and that's a part of the reason the Colts are 14.5-point favorites here. We've got a total of 51. The Titans are 2-5 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. The Colts are 5-2 against the spread, 4-3 to the over themselves. Not going to be taking the over in this game, but I will take the Colts. I can't make myself take the Titans here, even if you can find some 15s out there. The Titans will have no Ridley, missing 3 starters on defense. They have the worst run defense in the NFL, and they're going against the best running offense. The Colts are fully healthy in a divisional game. They're not going to take it easy. Weird things can happen in these divisional games, but I will definitely take the Colts here at anything under 3 touchdowns. I just think this is going to be an absolute disaster for the Titans. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the Sunday Night Football matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Packers are 4-1-1 on the season. They have won their last 2 games, but their last 2 games were not super convincing. A close win there against the Bengals, and a last time out, a 27-23 win there at Arizona in a game that kind of felt like they could have messed up and lost, which this is supposed to be a Super Bowl contender coming into the season. That is not what I'm seeing when I watch the Packers play. Jordan Love, 1 touchdown, 179 yards, sacked once, no turnovers, so that's good, but not an amazing day. Josh Jacobs, 13 carries, 55 yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns. That was really the main impetus behind this offense. I mean, Romeo Doubs, Tucker Kraft both had good days catching the ball, but nothing too special, especially going against an Arizona Cardinals offense and defense that is just not that good. So not in love with what I saw from the Packers offensively last week. Defensively giving up 23 points to Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals is not a good look. They did sack him 6 times and did generate 1 turnover, but also couldn't stop the run, couldn't stop Jacoby Brissett from running himself. Like, not a great day out there for the Packers defensively, which was supposed to be so awesome after getting Micah Parsons. They're 10th in the NFL in points against, giving up 20.8 per game, but when you look at their strength of schedule, I have a hard time coming up with amazing games that this team has won outside of their Week 1 win over the Lions. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on the Steelers. The Packers are also banged up for this game, just for the record. Golden potentially out. Christian Watson potentially out as well. So they could be missing 2 starting wide receivers. Also Devontae Watt potentially out there at defensive tackle. So Probably not going to be the full strength Packers heading to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers, who are in a bounce back spot after that 33-31 loss there at the Bengals. They're back home for this one. The last time they were at home, they beat down the Browns. The time before that, they were at home, they beat down the Vikings. They're 2-1 at home this season. We'll see what they can do in this one. In that loss against the Bengals, a comedy of errors, some really unlucky spots. Rodgers with those 2 interceptions, but I can't 100% blame either one of those on him, to be honest. He did pass for 249 yards. I mean, not a bad day for him. They also kept him well protected. Jaylen Warren was amazing there in the rushing game, 127 yards on 16 carries. Dominant stuff there. Honestly, the Steelers' offense looks great. The defense, not so much. They struggled against Joe Flacco, but mostly they struggled against Chase Brown and Jamar Chase. That's going to happen to a lot of teams. So we'll see if they've got a bounce back in them here. They're getting healthy. Zach Frazier being questionable there at center is not great. You don't want to see Rodgers without his starting center, but I think there's a decent chance he ends up playing in this game. And defensively, they are fully healthy. So that's a big deal for the Steelers as they continue to try and get better on that side of the ball. Pittsburgh is getting 3 points in this game. We've got a total of 45.5. Green Bay's 2-4 against the spread, a 500 over-under team. Pittsburgh 3-3 against the spread and 4-2 to the over. I think this is actually an excellent spot to take the Steelers here, getting 3 points. Is the Steelers defense better now than when they were, now that they're starting to get healthy? I think so. Do we like Rodgers in a primetime spot? I also think so. The Packers just barely managed to beat the Cardinals last week and have 2 of their 3 starting wide receivers questionable. Massive Mike Tomlin spot, and the Steelers are healthy, and this is a revenge spot for Rodgers. After allowing 30-plus points, Tomlin defenses are 29, 12, and 1 against the spread. When they're at home after a performance where they gave up 30-plus points, they are 21, 8, and 1 against the spread in their last game. We are slamming it here on the Steelers at +3. Probably going to be our dog of the day. Guys, that's all the games we have here for a very busy Sunday. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're clicking that link in the description. Get over to stumpthespread.com. Get on that free email list. There'll be free NFL picks in that email for sure, and tons of touchdown props as well. You also just want to get on there for all the good information. Also get over to stumpthespread.com. We have premium NFL picks posted over there, a bunch of them. There will be player props in there as well, so definitely get in on that. All the other major sports will be in there as well, and we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.